where it's time to meet the players. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from the Netherlands, it's time to meet the former champion of the world, the corner, Jelle Klaasen! And now, ladies and gentlemen, from South Wales, please welcome the Iceman, Godwin
Well, two players on stage who've gone very close to winning on the European Tour. Jelle Klaasen was a finalist in Hildesheim in the very last tournament of 2016, and Gerwyn Price nearly went all the way at the Austrian Darts Open in Graz a couple of months ago. And two players, you have to say, who could well deliver a highly charged and an adrenaline-fueled encounter for us in what is our third match of the day in the afternoon session here at the Danish Darts Open. Gerwyn Price, seeded 14. Jelle Klaasen had to come through qualifying for this one, and he also had to negotiate a fairly highly charged encounter yesterday against Mickey Mansell. Klaasen threatened to throw that one away when he was in a good position, but he came through, although, Dan Dawson, you suspect he may well have to improve on his finishing from yesterday. Just 6 from 25 for Jelle Klaasen.
Well, he survived 3 match darts against Mickey Mansell, and I'm not sure Gerwyn Price would be quite so generous if given the opportunity. It was a bad-tempered affair. There didn't seem any problems while the game was going on, but there's evidently something that had gone on between Mickey Mansell and Jelle Klaasen from their 2 previous meetings on the Pro Tour earlier this year. Mickey Mansell won them both. Jelle on stage at the end just basically criticising Mickey Mansell for being slow and not allowing him to play his normal game.
Jelle to throw first. Game on.
Jelle was saying he'd beat Mansell 6-0, 6-1, 6-2 if he played his normal game, but he just can't because he's too slow. Well, for my money, that's on you, Jelle. But he did manage to get the win, and let's see if he can play his normal game against Gerwyn Price.
Yeah, a rare win as well, you have to say, on the European Tour. The first 6 tournaments of the year he was seeded, but he won only 1 match. That was at the German Open.
101.
Had to go through qualifying for this and also for Gibraltar. Didn't make it to Gibraltar. 5 defeats at the first hurdle out of 6 so far this year on the European Tour, and also it's not been too much brighter on the Pro Tour as well. Beaten in either the first round or the second round in 13 of 14 Players' Championship events in 2018.
97.
So, can Jelle Klaasen use this tournament as a springboard to get his career back on track? He has tumbled down the Pro Tour Order of Merit. He's currently number 30 in that particular ranking. He's down at number 20 in the overall world rankings on the Order of Merit, the main Order of Merit.
135.
But this, a very, very testing encounter for Jelle Klaasen. Playing in his 51st European Tour event this weekend. He hit the big half century in Zwolle recently. Tops for Klaasen.
52.
First dance at a double missed for Jelle Klaasen. Like I say, 19 missed opportunities yesterday. Just as well, the Price is,
57.
well, was on 2 on 7.
Shot the first leg, yellow card. Second leg is go.
And that will do.
Yeah, well, it's Gerwyn Price who's not got out of the blocks as yet. We've already seen one seeded player fall by the wayside in John Henderson, but Joe Cullen, excellent
41.
as he got his campaign underway.
Yeah, against yesterday's big scorer, it was Joe Cullen who is so far, early days today, the big scorer of day 2 with an average of just under 106. 105.99 to be absolutely precise about it.
I'll round that up, to be honest.
I would as well. I'll let him have that.
57.
Would have been significantly higher, but for those 2 visits in the last leg of 57 and 54. So yeah, we'll give him that, Dan.
100.
There you go, a little gift from us to you, Joe.
Wow. I thought he was only averaging mid-90s.
Well,
realise how good
I was going to make. He often says that in post-match interviews on stage. He often seems surprised when his average is high. That was the case against Labanauskas in Gibraltar as well.
132.
Well, Yella is the better player at the moment.
140.
All that does is get Gerwyn Price back to level pegging in this leg, and it's one in which he threw first, so...
43.
But maybe the door has just opened for Price here. Yeah, that's a visit from Klaasen. Okay, he's down to a finish, but it's a very big one, and Price can just steal a march on him here.
96. 167.
Well, potentially 2 darts away, Gerwyn Price.
43. 107.
That's the first part of the equation. 50 away. Yes, splits it for tops. Beautifully done.
The legacy yellow to throw first. Game on.
That will get the blood pumping a little bit for Gerwyn Price, a man who went close to making the semi-finals in Gibraltar a fortnight ago. He trailed Nicholson 5-2 in that one. Forced the decider by winning 3 on the bounce. Kicks off with a ton 80, ton 40 in that decider, but then missed 6 match darts as well, including 3 at double 10.
57.
And the problem was he hit a single 6 with his 3rd dart, so he completely had to readjust. And
100.
when you look back, his first dart at a double in that match was when Nicholson was on 2-4-1, but somehow Nicholson just kept on plugging away, kept on getting the opportunities, and came through a real tussle to make the semis.
Well, these two have met 5 times before, but they were all in the first couple of years that Gerwyn Price was playing PDC darts, 2014 and 15, and that is also when Jelle Klaasen had come back into form and started winning things. He won a title very quickly when he moved over to the PDC, but then there was an enormous gap of about 7 years between him winning another. But he did win a couple of titles in 2015, and he got into the Premier League, and he had a run to the semi-finals of the World Championship.
180.
Gerwyn Price is warming up in this one.
And celebrating in the only way he knows how.
Loudly.
Loudly, that little pirouette, that little turn to the corner. Flexing the arms. Flexing the muscles.
32. 76.
Oh,
41.
Well, both players missing tops, but Klaasen missing it by a long way. Price is at least able to return for double 20. Now looking at double 10 for a break of throw. Making life difficult.
35. 35.
Double 8 then for Jelle. A little readjustment from Jelle Klaasen, just slowing it down a little bit. And a very important holder throw for the Dutchman.
139.
Is Gerwyn hobbling?
I'm just trying to make that out.
140.
He doesn't appear to be moving very well.
No, not. I mean,
it looks like he's. Yes, in fact, it is. Of course it is. He put out a statement the other day that he'd done his Achilles and that it's his non-standing foot, so it's his trailing foot when he's throwing. But he wants to get all the way through the tournaments he's got before having some work done over the summer. And I'd completely forgotten about it, because during his walk-on, he didn't seem to be struggling that much with it.
I was just going to say, it seems to be more pronounced. That's why I just noticed it, yeah.
And I mean, it'll take a little while
95
to get treatment sorted, and there are so many tournaments over the next few days and weeks. But he says he just wants to battle through it. Now, it can.
134.
It can almost help you focus. If you've got a physical pain, you can get away with it sometimes. Klaasen misses the ball, and Price has a look at that 72 again.
Citing the example of Steve West in Gibraltar very recently. 2 apiece, Gerwyn Price, resembling verbal kint from the usual suspects on stage, but still hanging in there at 2 apiece.
It's getting worse and worse, isn't it? I mean, how's he going to manage, if he does win this game, how's he going to manage to play all the way through Sunday with 4 games, slightly longer format in the evening?
And the worst thing is about the venue where we are, is that the players, when they leave the players' room to make their way to the stage, they have to come down a winding staircase. Imagine you're on a lighthouse. It's one of those winding staircases that you get inside a lighthouse or in an old cathedral. And then you've got another couple of flights of stairs to negotiate in the dark. And Gerwyn's got to walk back up.
100.
He needs a stair lift, isn't he?
Look, I mean, he only came and started playing PDC darts because his mate Barry Bates brought him along to Q School. Barry is a man who is held together with spit and string and blue tack, and I mean, it's not stopped him playing competitive darts, so he just needs to channel a little bit the spirit of Barry Bates.
125.
There's a bit of a lurch for that last dart. I mean, it lurched straight into the treble 20. I remember Simon Whitlock after I think he'd tripped up and fallen over a wall.
139.
And he was playing in a big moon boot at the World Championship one year. And it was, you know, his walk-on was not energetic.
59.
But he still played very well, and it was almost something to distract him as Klaasen looks to take out the 167. Oh my! The Cobra out of nowhere!
Another highlight of day 2, another highlight of the weekend here in Denmark. Delightful stuff from Jelle Klaasen. This is the Jelle Klaasen we
86.
know and love. This is the Jelle Klaasen that got himself into the Premier League. That's more like it, Jelle.
139.
Starts off with a 139 as well on the Price throw. And a visit without a treble here for Gerwyn.
59.
Will give Jelle Klaasen even greater encouragement now.
93.
A grimace from Gerwyn Price. He knows he's struggling to stay in contention and stay in touch in his leg. It's another visit without a treble though for Jelle. Started off well in this leg. Had all that momentum behind him from that 167.
Well, look, Jelle had injury problems of his own, but ironically, as soon as he got his injury sorted out, he started playing worse. Had that real issue with his wrist and tendinitis, and it stopped him from practicing as much as he'd wanted, and it's taken him a number of months to get back to a situation where he can get on the practice board for, you know, a couple of hours at a time. But unfortunately for Jelle, as things have got physically better for him, the results have got worse.
.92. Only 156.
Well, this may well have to go, but it's not going to go because Klaasen is waiting on 74.
85.
Well, he's not going to run and get it if it's only hanging out the board.
But he's going to nominate Kirk to grab it for him.
54.
Chance for Klaasen to go 4-2 up is not taken here and now. tops for Price to keep himself on parity, and he does so, and he, well, enjoys that one, because that could so easily have been a break of throw for Jelle Klaasen. It's not. And Gerwyn Price is still hanging in there.
44.
That was there for the taking for Jelle.
Well, a couple of 21 darters. In fact, very similar stuff. So 6 legs, all of them holds of throw, and each time they've held after 5 visits to the board, 6 visits to the board, and 7 visits to the board. So they've given each other an equal number of chances, similar sorts of chances, to get a break of throw and open up a bit of an advantage, and nobody's been able to take it, and that's why the averages are steadfastly locked together in the high 80s, and why it is anybody's game.
Winner of this to face either Peter Wright or Barry Lynn, who accounted for Chris Dobey yesterday. Peter Wright,
42.
a man who secured his first PDC title of the year last weekend in Wigan.
95.
Yet to taste any sort of success on the European stage this year. They meet later on tonight in the evening session from 7:15.
90.
On the way next, we've got another Welshman, the man who beat Gerwyn Price in the final in Austria, Johnny Klaasen against Labanauskas. Klaasen here, under pressure
96.
on his throat.
89.
Not his favourite area of the board, this. But it does not matter, because that is a 14-darter. Finally, we have a break of throw. And Gerwyn Price, after scraping through the previous leg on his own throw, breaks Klaasen, and he's throwing for a 2-leg advantage. He was actually out running when he did his Achilles the other week. Ruptured Achilles tendon. They are not fun injuries. He's going to have surgery on it, but he wants to get through the World Series in Vegas and Shanghai and the match play first.
180.
Yeah, the opportunities to undergo surgery are few and far between, given the packed schedule, but certainly big fish for Gerwyn Price to fry before he wants to go under the knife.
100.
Jelle Klaasen. 5 perfect darts, there we dream.
140.
And Gerwyn Price says he might have to take it easy on stage because of his injury.
180.
He's not taking it easy here though on Jelle Klaasen. 180 met by a 180.
And I'm not sure he's going to be able to take it easy himself in this sort of game. If this 140 goes, he might do himself another injury, because he can't help himself. And he's getting towards the nitty-gritty here. And it might go. Is it tops? Oh, it was. Favourite double on the board, but for the second time in this match, he couldn't pin 2 of them.
But Jelle Klaasen is looking at the bullseye.
96.
Well, he found it in leg 5 for the 167. He couldn't find it there. And this to consolidate that first break. Price with 2 darts remaining. And it's enough. It's a hold of throw. He backs up the break and he leads by 3. And Klaasen has to dig himself out of a hole once again.
97.
Back-to-back 14 darters, as good as we have seen in this match. Gerwyn Price coming good when it counts. And Jelle Klaasen, for all his talk after the Mansell game, saying, oh, if I'd be allowed to play my proper game, I'd have smashed Mickey Mansell 6-1, 6-2.
77.
It has not been significantly better against Gerwyn Price in this one, not yet at least.
140.
Crowd getting excited again here.
$96. 44.
Well, that visit of 44 by Jelle Klaasen
58.
has not been devastatingly punished by Gerwyn Price, who is down to a finish of 170, but Klaasen needs to get himself back on track here. And so far, he's not able to do so.
Well, he's desperate to stay in the 20s. And in the end, he just decides that, oh, well, I'll try and get the treble. But he's left a finish where he'd need the bullseye rather than one where he'd only need, oh, my, oh, my. Oh, Gerwyn Price to win it!
445.
Well, that would have eclipsed everything that Jelle Klaasen did in leg 5, especially in terms of sealing the match. But Jelle Klaasen is keeping himself going here.
36. 25.
Price misses ball for the 170. Klaasen misses ball for the 161. But the upshot is Price will get more match darts. And he pins double 12 for a 6-3 victory.
And it wraps up what was a brilliant, brilliant match. It really warmed up. So many highlights. The 107 checkout from Price early on. The 167 checkout from Klaasen to assume a 3-2 lead. He looked to be in control, but he missed a dart at top for a 4-2 lead. And then Price hit back with a 14 dart break and a 14 dart hold, and then was able to seal the deal in the 9th leg as well, kicking off with a 177 in what was the final leg of the match. Price clearly not in a greater state in terms of his physical health, but hobbling his way through into round 3 and the final day here in Copenhagen.
Congratulations, Gerwyn. I know you're struggling. How hard was that? Because you're evidently in a lot of pain.
No, it's honest, there's no pain. It's just, it's strapped up and I can't walk side. There's no pain. I play darts with my hands and I play pretty well, so no excuses.
Well, you nearly won it with a 170 there. Is it distracting though, or do you think you can play somewhere near your best stuff while you're struggling?
I don't know, I think it makes me concentrate a lot more, and I think I played pretty well there for a change, but you know, it's obviously affected me a little bit, but it's going to take a couple of weeks or maybe a couple of months to get over it, but I'm not going to let it bother me.
Well, if it's good enough for Barry Bates, it's good enough for you. I mean, he hobbles around and still plays decent stuff.
I told him this last week. Everything he's done, I've done. We've got to the UK Open final, the World Cup final, and now he's hobbling. I'm following him.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Welsh #1 Gerwyn Price, the Iceman. Now let him get off the stage. It may take a while. The action continues here. Second round of the Copenhagen.